who are both ISM students and can tell us way more about the ISM team than I can. Ladies, why don't you tell me who are the captains of the team, or who are the seniors?
We have,
The captains of the team are Helena and Ines, and they've been at ISM for a very long time, and this is their last game as seniors, last tournament.
So just as we're doing that introduction, the ISM Bearcats strike like lightning and score the first try of the game. We have a 1-0 ball game now, home team leading. The fans are going bananas at the bottom of your screen, and this calls the Jakarta Dragons up to task to push the ball forward into Manila's defensive zone. So we have a 12:15 kickoff here at ISM. What block is it in the high school at 12:15 right now?
it's currently B block.
So that probably explains why there's so many fans here. Fans are going bananas. Oh, Jakarta mishandles the ball. That means the Manila gets to push forward with it. Let's see how they push Jakarta back into their own zone. So tell me about number 16 here, who seems to be doing a lot of the work.
Number 16 is Sophie Curry, and she is the link.
Yeah, she's from the United States, and she's very fast on the team.
So good defense there by the Dragons. Six touches done. That means the Bearcats have to back up 10 meters, and the Dragons get to push forward. You'll see that the Dragons will push their attack here to the bottom of your screen so that they can begin to execute some substitutes where they can take the players who are on the field off and sub in the players who've been resting to get some fresh legs onto the field. So here go the Dragons. Now they've subbed. They're going back towards the middle of the field, maybe the far side. Meanwhile, the Manila Bearcats are still out there in the sun, in the heat, and have been playing nonstop for about 2-3 minutes now. So here's a turnover for the Bearcats. Bearcats get the ball and execute their own substitutes. Ladies, what do you know about the Manila coaches?
I think they're pretty nice. We were playing on the JV team, Lauren and I. They work the varsity team pretty hard, but I think it's all worth it in the end.
As touch players, what's more important? Is it understanding of the game, or is it fitness, or is it a balance of the two?
I would say a balance, but I think fitness is pretty key because you're running like a whole field for a lot of time, and sometimes the subs are pretty hard to get on.
It's a very deceptive game because there's times where it looks like everybody's standing still, and then there's times where you're sprinting as fast as you can forward and fast as you can backward. Tell me about how the coaches on the Manila team do fitness training with the team.
A lot of it is sprints and practice games, so they'll play games against each other.
So here we go, another try. Referee's checking with her colleagues. Does anyone have an objection? Nobody does. There's another score by number 14 from Manila.
Which is Ruri, and she's in grade 11.
Where's Ruri from?
She is from Japan.
Oh, that's awesome. So two tries to nil. ISM leading 2-0. Home fans are feeding frenzy. They're loving it. Jakarta doing what they can to hold the line and try to make a dent in Manila's defense. So here you'll see Jakarta charging forward and Manila making a touch and then backing up as fast as they can. There's a penalty against Jakarta for being off the mark. Can you explain what off the mark is, girls? I think it's when you get touched and you don't put the ball down where you're supposed to be, or where you got touched. You put it down too far away, and the referee makes you back up. And if you do it twice, then I think the other team gets the ball. Oh, incredible diving effort, but she was touched. Is that Ruri again?
That's number 12, Heyman, and she's a very good diver.
Those diving plays, those diving efforts to score or to defend are all, there's a mishandle by the Manila Bearcats. So when you drop the ball as a team, it doesn't matter how many touches you've had, it's an immediate turnover. Oh, speaking of turnovers, there's a mishandling by Jakarta. So here's a three-person attack where a person gets touched, she dumps the ball, half picks it up, immediately offloads it, trying to exploit. Oh, there's a great diving play. Who's that, girls?
Inez.
The captain of the team.
That's unbelievable. What a great play. So now we have a 3-0 ball game, and we've only been playing touch for 5 minutes. Manila Bearcats seem to be feeding off the energy of their fans, and Jakarta Dragons seem to not know what's hitting them. Okay, so Jakarta able to push into the Manila zone, get the Bearcats to back up and defend a little bit. But again, a mishandling results in a turnover, and likely Manila, who's playing steady touch, will take advantage of it. So here's a 3-person attack between number 15, number 11, and number 7, who's through. Oh, she gets touched inside the 7-meter line. So Lauren and Aiden here representing Manila Touch Rugby, players on the JV team. How many teams of touch rugby do you guys have at ISM here?
We had a few, like every Saturday. Most of the time it was 4 games every Saturday, so pretty tiring, but overall it's a really good season.
Which other schools do you play in regular season games here in Manila?
There wasn't a JV league, so a lot of the time we were versing varsity leagues or universities, but it was a good challenge.
I believe it. I believe it. Well, and so would your varsity girls have played in similar leagues?
Yeah, so we would have Tuesday twilights with them, so
Wow.
some of the same teams.
All right, so they're forged by really tough competition throughout the season. Referee's checking with her colleague if a touch was made. She does not reward the try. She says the Jakarta Dragon player did touch the Manila Bearcat. So who's this with the ball, girls? Who's that wearing the visor?
That's Michelle and Helena.
Here she comes down this side. Another diving effort, but she's touched by number 12 from Jakarta. What a great defensive stand. What's harder work, girls, attacking or defending?
Defending, for sure.
Oh, okay, defending. So right now, Jakarta's depleting themselves energy-wise because they've been on the goal line defending for about 5 minutes, whereas Manila's really been in the driver's seat this match. There's another diving effort. And it's a rewarded try. So neither referee on the sideline had an objection to it. Another interesting note is as teams make substitutions when they bring the ball up and down the sideline, the referees also execute a 4-person rotation. So the referee, who's now in the middle of the field, was just on the sideline. And the referee who was in the middle of the field has now rotated to the sideline. So referees also rotate responsibility. That's the degree of fitness required for this sport. So penalty against the Bearcats. They have to back up 10 meters. Jakarta gets 6 new touches to try to get across the goal line. There's a touch that was too rough.
Yeah.
Oh, great effort by the Dragons, but Manila's defense is just too organized. Again, Manila's defense staunch, preventing the Dragons from getting across the goal line. Starting from the 7-meter line. They're running out of touches to get across the line here. There's a good touch. Actually, that must have been the 6th. Causing a turnover. So Manila now pushing upfield. Each time a defender makes a touch, she's got to retreat back to where the referee is before she can be onside again to make a subsequent touch. There's an overload on the right side. Well defended by number 12. So Manila Bearcats bring the ball back through the middle of the field. That's number 33 for Manila. Again, very well defended by number 12 for Jakarta. We've heard her number quite a few times. got a 4-0 ball game with just 5 minutes to play in the half. And for those of you who can hear, you'll know that the Manila faithful are doing their regular Let's Go Bearcats cheer. Not a lot of teaching going on in the elementary school today, girls. This is every school teacher's dream, a home IASAS during the school day. Oh, there's another incredible attempt by Manila Bearcats. No objection. There's another try being rewarded. Wow, what a play. So 5-0 here with 4 minutes and change to play. The Bearcats really in the driver's seat. Now, I know the Manila Bearcat costume, the actual mascot, is going to make an appearance at some point.
Let's hope so.
Oh, there he is. Speak of the devil, he shall appear. Number 01, the ISM Bearcat. That cannot be a climate-controlled experience for whoever's in there. All right, so the Dragons are pushing forward, trying to take advantage of the space behind the defenders as they come forward. That's the 6th touch, which means it's going to be a Bearcat ball. So the Dragons do a good job of getting across the field, but come up short every time in the 7-meter zone. So here's Manila. You'll see that the player who ends up being touched actually receives the ball with a great deal of speed while she's running full speed. So this forces the defensive team to always be on the retreat. So there's another off-the-mark call, which means the Manila player put the ball down in a position where she was not actually touched, which results in an immediate turnover. There's a mishandled ball by the Bearcats. Manila puts the ball down. Half picks it up, and forward we're running. That's number 15? It's number 16. Lauren, remind me who's number 16.
Sophie Curry.
That's Sophie. All right, so the defensive line was too far forward. They've got to back up to the goal line. Bearcats get to start with the ball at the 7-meter line. They're going to draw defenders out slowly and then try to exploit the space once a touch is made. Here we go, urgency. Oop. Okay, the referee here checking. Yes, there's the score. Once again, number 12 diving in underneath the hands of the Jakarta defenders. So you may be wondering, hey, I thought the Jakarta defender touched her. And the reality is that the Jakarta defender was offside, so her touch does not count. The Jakarta defender had to get all the way behind the goal line and then come forward to make the touch. So here we are with 2 minutes to play in the first half, and the score is 6-0. So some of the ISM faithful baking on the track under the hot noonday sun. Here come the Dragons trying to push the Bearcats back to their own goal line and try to exploit the space behind them. Jakarta Intercultural School pushing. That's the 6th touch, so that results in a turnover. So ISM immediately going to push Jakarta all the way back into their own zone. You'll see the speed with which the half passes the ball. There's another example of being off the mark. So there's going to be a Jakarta ball inside the Manila territory. Substitutions happening. Not an opportune moment because your attacking team is now short players. There's a ball handling error. Little confusion going on in the substitution box. Girls, when you play your matches, do you always sub in and out for the same person? Like, do you have like a mirror image person on your team?
We have like 1 and 2, so you'll be 1 and the person on the field will be 2. So you always sub out for each other. Just to
So
make
if
it
I'm
easier.
out and I'm your 2, I'm waiting for you to wave your hand.
Yeah.
Do coaches ever override that decision and say, no, actually I want Aiden in instead of Lauren?
Sometimes that happens, but usually you sub with the same position as you.
Right. And so while you're subbing, while you're off the field, you're not just sitting there drinking water and breathing. You're actually really paying attention to your number 1 or your number 2.
Yeah.
And do we always try to organize our substitution by actually bringing the ball to the sideline where our team is?
Most of the time if you can, yeah, but it can be a little bit difficult at times given what the other team's doing.
Yeah, sometimes the flow of the game doesn't permit that, does it?
No.
All right, here's another try right at the buzzer. Referee checking with his colleagues. And that's another try for the Bearcats just as we go into halftime. So Manila really in the driver's seat here. We've got a 7-0 game. Sunny Bonifacio Global City. Beautiful venue. The best part about IASAS Touch and Rugby, of course, is that the tournament for both sports is held on the same field. So the atmosphere is always fantastic. Lots of fans probably tuning in from